ọgbà tí àṣejìná lòdì ìrànjẹ́ làwọn aláṣejòkòtì tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ ọba ni wọ́n ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH.
kí ló dé tóun tó dáa kì í kún ẹlẹ́gàn lójú ìjọba ẹnjìnìà Ṣèyí Mákindé ọ̀fẹ́ràn ṣẹ́kárí mi ni ṣùgbọ́n bọ́lọ̀ ń bá rí ọ nítorí àfẹnuyọ sùsìsì tí ń dùn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ jẹ́yìn náà rí ọ ọ̀pọ̀ àṣeyọrí lórí ìdàgbàsókè níjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti ṣe ẹ̀jẹ̀ sọ díẹ̀ mbẹ́ ó pèsè ọkọ̀ lárìnká sọ̀fin tó tó agbègbè iṣẹ́ ibi kárí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àfikún àtìròyìn lágbára fáwọn operation boss dáyẹ́tẹ̀ ìwéré ilé àtàgọ́ rẹ̀ ó fi kún agbára ẹ̀rọ ayélujára bí òwìwí gbàwòrán àṣẹlẹ̀ pàjáwìrì sílẹ̀ ńbàdàn commissioning of mobile squadron unit lágọ̀ọ́ rẹ̀ ó dáwọ́lé múgbòòrò ètò ọrọ̀ ajé nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ nípasẹ̀ àgbẹ̀ farm of estates lákùfò èrúwà àti láwẹ́ pínpín ohun ọ̀gbìn fẹ́gbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá àgbẹ̀ asphalt and equipment níjàyè fífọwọ́síwé mi ni mo ní nǹkan mi sí ọ̀fọ̀ lóṣù péréte ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ mílíọ̀nù fún dènà covid-19 àbítọ̀nà ọ̀dàjì road LAUTECH vehicle inspection center ìdíàpẹ́ ọ̀nà amáníyà ìjàyè sí sẹ́yìn àtàwọn agbègbè dágbègbè níbàdàn ó gbówó oṣù ọdún mẹ́rin kalẹ̀ fún ìṣẹ́fẹ̀yìntì àwọn olùkọ́ gbogbo ọ̀ọ́dúnrún òṣìṣẹ́ tí wọ́n dádúró lọ́nà àìtọ́ ló gbà padà tó sì ń sanwó wọn déédéé abẹ́ gbáriwo ó káṣù ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́ta owó tóbi ń san ẹ̀kọ́ dọ̀fẹ́ ó pín ìwò tún kíláàsì ṣe ó fa LAUTECH padà di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àtúnṣe pẹ̀lú ohun èlò fún ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé lọ́pọ̀ bíi mélòó láwà ká tábọ́ ara ẹni tí ń pẹ̀gàn ìjọba Ṣèyí Mákindé má pẹ̀lú ọ̀bọ̀jẹ̀kọ ohun gbogbo tí ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ ní ẹjẹ́ àjọ wò.
Ọ̀yọ́ State Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism.
You're welcome back to the program The Head of Service Speaks here on Aloore Radio, transmitting from the GSM Studio Ministry of Information and Orientation. Again, for those that are just joining us, you are on to The Head of Service Speaks. As I said earlier, I would want to reiterate that the program is geared towards fostering the relationship between the Oyo State Head of Service Office and the Oyo State Civil and Public Servants. And here with me on today's program, we'll have an esteemed guest, which I will be introducing to you very, very soon, who will be throwing light to issues having to do with the Ministry of Energy in Oyo State. I know that there are various issues, listeners have their questions that the good people of Oyo State and in the diaspora would want to know from those that are at the ends of affairs here in Oyo State. The program has an ample opportunity for you to join to ask questions, and for those that are joining us, we have the studio line here in Aloore that you can call into. The mobile line is 09039853731. I'll take that again. The mobile line to call is 09039853731. 09039853731 if you would want to join us here in the studios. Today I have with me a very wonderful woman at the ends of affairs here at the Ministry of Energy in Oyo State. She's here to throw light on different issues that pertains to that ministry. And you know, in Oyo State, under the able leadership of our governor here, Governor Ṣèyí Mákindé, he is a man that actually puts the right peg in the right hole. He puts people that knows and understand their onions in where they should be, people of timber and caliber. And here today I have with me the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Energy in the studios, and person of Mrs. Aminat Atere. You are welcome on the program, ma.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here with us on The Head of Service Speaks.
Good to be with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Although before we came on air, we've been talking about different issues, and we know that with your presence here with us here at which was graciously approved by the Head of Service herself, you are going to lift up our feathers in the studio. We so much thank you, and we appreciate you for being with us here today, ma.
You're welcome, ma.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And she's not here alone, but towards the end of the program, we will be introducing the directors that actually came with the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy. So, Your Honor, ma, let's go. How we proceed to the crux of the matter for today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma. Your Honor, observing critically the present situation in most areas in Oyo State, And within the capital, which is Ibadan, power supply had become erratic. And I think being modest, we would want to use that word erratic. That is when being modest. And especially even having IBDEC with us here. Ma, what are the measures the government is putting in place to boost power supplies, especially with the present economic situation in the country?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Good afternoon, everyone. To the question,
Yes, Ma.
what the government is doing. The government of Oyo State, under the able leadership of Governor Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde, has put several measures in place. He was the one that established the Ministry of Energy when he came into power in 2019 to boost the energy supply and address energy challenges in the state. Be that as it may, we have collaboration with TCN, and the Oyo State government had given the TCN the certificate of occupancy and land free to construct to improve power generation, power supply in the state. As we are talking, we have a power substation in Oyo that is 100% completed and now in use. We have in Ogbomoso, which is 90%. We have in Igbora, 65%. Igangan, 65%. Lanlate, 65%. Shaki, 30%. And Eleyele is ongoing. So the state government is not relenting in its efforts at giving more power supply to the citizens of Oyo State. Presently, as a Jire is proposing a 330 kVA megawatt to boost Ayede. You know, Ayede has been constructed for the past 50 years and is overloaded.
Okay.
And that is the result why we have erratic supply. And so the state government is planning another one at Asijire, which will boost the generation. And all the places I've mentioned also are in a bid to generate more power supply to the citizens of Oyo State.
Your Honor, Ma, I'm so sorry to cut you, but for all that you have mentioned, all the different places that you have mentioned, I believe many of the citizens would basically know, okay, they will be saying that these are works that are on paper, or these are things that, okay, the government would definitely come out to say, but they want to see, they want to feel, they want to have power. So, Ma, is there any
By the time all the substations are completed, you have more power generation around the states. It's
okay.
not on paper alone.
All right.
For instance, the Oyo project is already completed and in use.
Okay.
And so power situation in Oyo town has improved greatly. And so it will be for all other stations, substations too.
Okay. Thank you so much for shedding light on that. And that is to say that for the people of Oyo State and should be expecting at least a considerable stable power supply.
They should.
Okay.
His Excellency and the Honorable Commissioner for Energy went to Abuja to meet the minister on the recent power decree that has just been assented to by the government.
Right.
So with that development, you know, the state now can also generate, distribute, and its own power. So the state government is keying into that initiative, and so it will boost power supply.
That is really interesting. Thank you so much, Your Honor. And moving on with issue of power, we would want to commend the present government under the leadership of Governor Sheyi Makinde for going all out to ensure that major roads are lit up by the provision of streetlights, which definitely, even I would say, even the visually impaired would also testify. They can testify that something has actually changed in or your state, in Ibadan to be precise. It is observed that the street lights are not, but the issue is that they are not coming up as they used to. And we notice that they are powered by generators, or when there is cut from the national grid, we don't know, the street lights are not on. Your Honor, what is the government doing to restore the lights, as this is a way to help and protect and preserve lives? Because the lit up has actually helped even in businesses of people in the state, and it has also really helped different menace that would have been happened. We want it back.
Yes, it is back.
Okay.
In the last 3 months, it is back because an energy audit was conducted, and the contractor has been mobilized back to site, and so the situation has improved in most towns, not only in Ibadan, but even major towns around the states. So it has really improved. The energy audit was conducted, and the report was given to His Excellency, which he approved that certain amount should be paid to the contractor who is handling the project. And so we have had improved street lights in the states.
Okay. Still within that question, it has a kind of stretching on that question. It's been observed that Adamasimba Road has this threefold means of power supply from the national grid to gas to inverter. This initiative is laudable, beautiful, excellent. But I just want to know that, is this going to be extended? Because every area wants such a thing.
It's not only Adamasimba that is going to enjoy such facility. Other major areas in the city will also enjoy such, and that is what is going to boost the electricity supply. It's not only Adamasimba that will experience the tripartite status. All other major junctions and places will also enjoy such, and so let the citizen be rest assured that is ongoing. This is just the first lift. It's going to be around the state and around the state.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is there something you want to add?
No.
Okay. We would want to go on a very short break now. We are still on to the Head of Service Speaks here on Aloore Radio, and with me in the studio we are talking about with me in the studio I have the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy, Mrs. Aminat Atere, and we will be right back after this short break.
Join our growing community of listeners all around the globe by following Aloore Radio on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, Aloore Radio, YouTube, Aloore Radio. Visit our website on www.alooreradio.com. You can also download the Aloore Radio application on the Google Play Store by searching Aloore Radio. Call or send a message on 0903 985 3731. Hear this. This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo
我
State.
媳妇喜欢是神神人啦，谁啦？我媳妇修我，可以以后，哎呀，又说呀，you don't fear Abi? Na Aloore Radio you dey. If you know they listen to Aloore Radio, you are wrong. You are not doing well. If you dey listen to Aloore Radio, you are doing very well, very very well. In case you are listening to me for the first time, I'm Pastor Chinko, comedian, the senior man in the industry, the biggest comedian all the way from China. Now, Corona sees me for Nigeria. You understand the Pidgin, you understand Yoruba. In case you are listening to me in Nausa, I get name. Sunana Pastor Chinko. In case you be Igbo person, and you dey listen to me, Afambo, Pastor Chinko, Igbo people, Igbo Kwenu, you shout ye there. All of now, when be say you don't know response, you go to shout ye, na hey. Afambo, Pastor Chinko, as I said earlier, in case you speak Yoruba so well, Omo Badan Kini so ni kila jelana ìwọ tó jẹ panla ló sọ pé ẹran ṣíkì kila fi jókòó kúṣí sí àná lẹ́sọ̀ pẹ̀lú plastic chair tó fi jókòó yẹn ẹlòmí àgbórin ló fi jókòó yóò sọ pé kúṣí sí à. Anyway, all joy. But if you speak Chinese so well and you want to pronounce my name, you don't write it on paper, you record it on your radio, on your phone or enemies. You call it this way. Say la for you. Say la.
You're welcome back to the Head of Service Speaks here on Aloore Radio. And with me, I still have the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources here with us in the studios live on Aloore Radio. And we are still talking about different aspects and issues concerning the ministry and concerning the beneficial aspects of it for the citizens of Oyo State. And definitely hearing all that the Permanent Secretary is saying, you should be rest assured that very soon there will be a stable power supply in and within the state, because the government of our esteemed governor, Seyi Makinde, is not resting on its oars. Now, Your Honor, we know that Oyo State too has had its fair share of infrastructural vandalism.
Yes.
We know it's a menace that is actually eating up the nation, and Oyo State also has been it's not left out.
Yes.
So we cannot actually blame the government for that. Instead, the people to also have their share exactly in the development of a state and a country, as it were. But Your Honor, what protective measures are laid down by the government to put an end to this menace and wastage? It's been becoming so alarming.
Yes, it has become so alarming that some people will now even go and destroy government property and come back when they are charged or fined for a certain amount. They come back to beg for reduction. Even we have some highly placed people in the society that will now come to beg for those that are destroying government property. What we have in the ministry is we have a property destruction of government property bill that has been passed, so that anybody that is involved will be sanctioned and will pay certain penalty to the government. That one has already been passed by the Oyo State House of Assembly, the last assembly, and so it will be assented to by His Excellency anytime from now. Also, the contractor that is handling the street lights is also charged with the responsibility of catching those who destroy cables, who destroy poles, street light poles, and judge them, punish them with a certain amount of money that they have to pay to state government. So that is for now what the government is doing to prevent people destroying government properties and wastages.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Because you've actually touched on the other aspects, because I
Yes,
wanted to
the
ask that what are the
punitive
punitive measures that are put in place, and it's so heartwarming that we know that there's a bill out there that is actually being assented to as we speak. There's this particular going towards the tail end of the program now. There's this aspect that the citizens are worried about, and we would want you to shed the light onto, and that has to do with one of the public-private partnership in Oyo State, the project of Electron Energy, with having its 11 megawatt hybrid independent power project IPP, with 10 megawatt gas-fired power generation and 1 megawatt PV solar solution. Ma, is this project completed for use in Oyo State?
Not yet. The project is ongoing. It's not yet completed. But before the end of this year, at least 4 megawatts will be ready for use at the secretariats. For the secretariat, the rest 7 will also be delivered by mid next year to make the 11 megawatt power generation. One will be 1 megawatt will be PV solar solution, while 10 will be fired by gas, powered by gas. As we speak, they have brought the 4 generators that will be put to use at the secretariat, and so that will be ready before the end of October, and so it will be a benefit to the citizens here in the secretariat and the neighborhood, because it's not going only to serve the secretariat alone. Bodija area and so down to additional will be served. So the project is ongoing and is being supervised. Even recently, His Excellency paid a scheduled visit to the site, and he directed that work will be moved faster. He has even consulted with the University of Ibadan Ventures to be able to remove all encumbrances and make the work faster. So it's ongoing.
We really appreciate the honor.
It's there to the heart of His Excellency.
We really appreciate His Excellency on that. All I can say is that they should remember those that are towards challenge and also
that also will be taken care of.
Thank you so much. That's on a lighter note, though. We know that definitely the governor has the interests of all citizens at heart.
No matter where you are placed or you are living.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Yes,
but there's this particular question that I will not fail to ask you, Ma.
Yes,
is between Electron Energy and IBDEC.
Yes,
These are power supplying organization, and people. Let me just say, some people are actually like deliberating that wouldn't be a kind of possible rift
there is
between
likely no rift, because none at all, Your Honor. No, there will be. It will be settled amicably, but there is no feasibility of a rift, because this is not the first place they are operating. This is operating in Lagos State, and it's working well. The IBDC will have representation in the stakeholder of Electron, and so they work together to facilitate that the project is to the benefit of the citizen. There's not going to be much rift that cannot be settled.
Yes, thank you so much, because the basic thing people actually are interested is that they don't want any rift to occur that
no, you can cast your mind back to the days of Nitel You know, in the days of night,
I must be
you
very
have to
small,
go,
younger then. Let me say.
you have to go after them carrying ladder. But now that we have different networks, you know, you now go and buy wherever you feel you can get the service. So that is what is going to happen.
Okay.
Where you get the service is where you patronize.
That is very interesting. That has to do with the card payment,
something like that.
But it's so unfortunate that majority of neighborhoods still is not on this prepaid kind of thing. Is it the work of the IBDEC or Electron, or has to do with the ministry, as it were?
The ministry will make sensitization and advocacy to the citizenry to educate them on the possible use of the card system and how beneficial it will be to their service, the end users.
Thank you so much, Anna. Before we round off on this program, we would want to go on this very short break, and we will be right back.
我媳妇喜欢是神神等啦，谁啦？大媳妇小我，可以你好，哎呀，又说呀，you don't fear abi? Na Aloore radio you dey. If you know they listen to Aloore radio, you are wrong. You are not doing well. If you dey listen to Aloore radio, you are doing very well, very very well. In case you are listening to me for the first time, I'm Pastor Chinko, comedian, the senior man in the industry, the biggest comedian all the way from China. Now Corona sees me for Nigeria. You understand the Pidgin, you understand Yoruba. In case you are listening to me in Nausa, again name, Sunana Pastor Chinko. In case you be Igbo person, and you dey listen to me, Afambo, Pastor Chinko, Igbo people, you go kwenu. You shout ye there. All of now, when you say you don't know response, you go to shout ye. Now hey, Afambo, Pastor Chinko, as I said earlier, in case you speak Yoruba so well, Omo Badan kini so. So ni kila jelana ìwọ tó jẹ panla ló sọ pé ẹran ṣíkì kila fi jókòó kúṣí sí àná lẹ́sọ̀ pẹ̀lú plastic chair tó fi jókòó yẹn ẹlòmí àgbórin ló fi jókòó yóò sọ pé kúṣí sí à. Anyway, all joy. But if you speak Chinese so well and you want to pronounce my name, you don't write it on paper, you record it on your radio, on your phone or enemies. You call it this way. Say la la for you. Kò yí wa. Yàrá ṣe say la la. Mi sọ pé láìláì o. Chinese ló gùn bẹ́yẹ. It means Pastor Chinko. Na my name, no be your name. Igara saying, Aloore.
We thank you for still staying tuned to Aloore Radio, transmitting from the GSM Studio, Ministry of Information and Orientation. Thank you for being there on the Head of Service Speaks. We have been talking with the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources on the program, and she definitely had been throwing lights and shedding lights to different issues concerning energy in Oyo State. But before we round off this program for today, Anna, I believe there should be something that you would want to pass across to the people of your state concerning your ministry.
Yes, thank you. To the good people of your state, we want to appeal that we should realize that government property is our property, and so we should take good care of those properties and not damage or cut cables such that the power supply will not be affected in any way. And those that are caught should be ready to pay the penalty for being a vandal. We also want to charge all citizens to please cooperate with the present administration at delivering clean and safe energy to all citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I believe the people of your state have actually heard that. Please, everything and every infrastructure that the government is putting in place is for the benefit of the people. It's for you to enjoy. It's for you to be at peace. Stop the vandalism. It is a menace, and I believe that the message will go a long way. It's on that note we've come to the end of another interesting edition of the Head of Service Speaks here on Aloore Radio. We have been conversing with the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Mrs. Aminat Atere. We thank you once again, Your Honor, for coming on the program. And we believe that if there are issues in coming times that we might need your presence, you will be able to join us.
By God's grace.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
The Permanent Secretary is not here alone. He came with her directors. And I have here with me the Director, Admin and Supplies, Mr. Adediba Stephen. He is here in the studios with the Permanent Secretary. Also here is Director of Operation and Maintenance, Engineer Ayo Ogunshesan. Also here with the Permanent Secretary is the Media Officer of the Ministry, Mrs. Olubokola Ibikunle. We thank you all for joining the Permanent Secretary to be here in Aloore Radio. Also, viewers, do join us again on the Head of Service Speak on the next fortnight, which is on the 12th of October 2023, because the program comes up every fortnight. So by 1 p.m. on the same station at 1 o'clock. Many thanks to my studio manager, DJ Olawoyin, for being there for us. We thank you also for the studio engineer Shegun Taiwo for being there, and of course the man behind the cameras, Mr. Joy, for being there. I am Aboyede Uju. Thank you for staying tuned. See you next fortnight.
Whether you're a native of Ibadan or a visitor, Aloore Radio brings you closer to the heart and soul of